God bless you guys in Jesus' name. I was listening to a podcast of a pastor this morning, and he was talking about not obeying the law and just going to Jesus. Just go to Jesus. Stop trying to obey the law, and you're going to be okay if you just go to Jesus. And I was thinking to myself, yeah, that sounds good. But then I thought, Jesus, when he was tempted in the Garden of Gethsemane, he was sweating drops of blood in order to turn from the temptation. Or it talks about how he was taken out into secret places where he would pray and cry out to the Lord that he would not be falling into temptation, because he had flesh just like the rest of us. And so that's what Jesus did. Was he just obeying the law when he was crying out to God in order to resist temptation? Because why is it that people feel bad when they fall into temptation? Why do they feel bad afterwards? They shouldn't feel bad if it was just them trying to obey the law and failing, because that would mean, God's grace just cover it. But the truth is, they just gave in. Instead of turning to God and turning to Jesus in that moment when they should have been, turning to him, they instead just gave in. And that makes you feel bad because you gave in to sin instead of turning to Jesus Christ. And so what do you do when, say you're in some great temptation, okay? And you're, and some preacher comes to you and says, you're under the law, man. Just go to Jesus. What are you going to do? You're just going to fall down is what you're going to do into sin. And then they'll excuse it with this once saved, always saved crap. And it sounds really good, and they sound really confident in what they're saying. But the truth is, the people falling down left, right, and center, and they're not helping them out of it. Because if you look in the Bible, in Timothy, where it says all these rules for people in leadership and how they need to live these blameless lives, well, according to these preachers, that's being under the law and not under grace. But no, it isn't, because in order to conquer sin, you have to turn to Jesus Christ with all your everything. Even if you're not feeling it, even if you're not feeling the grace and the love, and you're not feeling the Spirit, you have to turn your entire being towards him and cry out to him for help, because he is the one that's going to help you. And that's not obeying the law. That is turning to Jesus Christ.